It's a very good afternoon to our viewers and welcome to Channel 2's English News Bulletin. My name is Angie Meher joining you for the afternoon, and we begin straight away with a look at the news from home, where President Abdel-Fattah el-Sisi on Tuesday attended the 41st Strategic Symposium of the Armed Forces, marking Martyrs' Day and Veterans' Day. Addressing the symposium, the President hailed the sacrifices of personnel who paid their lives for the nation. He said the Arab nation is capable of protecting its security and maintaining its position as a pioneering nation. Sisi further said Martyrs' Day coincides with the 10th of Ramadan, War Victory, a day Egypt won, one of the most honorable battles. The President honored a number of families whose loved ones were martyred or injured during military operations. He said Egypt's martyrs not only paid their lives, but also paved the way for the future of the nation. The President said due to the sacrifices of the martyrs, the state was able to face challenges and establish national projects. Sisi said recent threats have created a disorderly situation, especially with regards to the Palestinian issue. He added Egypt is seeking to provide solutions to achieve peace and security in the region, being an active doer on this issue. He further said Egypt's position regarding the Palestinian issue is unchanged, which is establishing the Palestinian state and rejecting attempts to relocate the Palestinian people. The President praised the Palestinian people for their perseverance, saying Egypt will provide all efforts to support them in their battle for existence. The President also praised to the Egyptian people and their military for efforts exerted to shape the nation's military, political, as well as economic capabilities. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Expatriates Affairs, Dr. Badr Abdel-Aati, stressed the pivotal, influential role of the media in raising awareness of the external challenges facing the country. This came during his meeting with officials from the national media organizations and senior journalists and media professionals. Abdel-Aati asserted adherence to the constants and principles of Egyptian foreign policy and Egypt's commitment to implementing the principle of strategic balance. An Israeli negotiating team left for Qatar for talks aimed at extending the fragile ceasefire in Gaza after the Israelis cut the Palestinian territory's electricity supply, reportedly to ramp up pressure on Hamas. Media reports said the delegation was led by a top official from the domestic security agency, Shin Bet. First phase of the truce deal expired March 1st with no agreement on subsequent stages that should secure a lasting end to the war. The differences over how to proceed. Hamas wants immediate negotiations on the next phase as stipulated in the ceasefire deal, but Israelis want to extend phase 1. Hamas has accused Israelis of reneging on the ceasefire deal, saying in a statement that the Israelis' refusal to commence the second phase exposes their intentions of evasion and stalling. Yemen's Houthis said they would take military measures as soon as a 4-day deadline for lifting a blockade of aid into Gaza ends. The leader of Yemen's Houthis said that the group would resume its naval operations against Israel if Israel did not lift a blockade of aid into Gaza within the next 4 days. The United Nations Relief Agency, UNRWA, in Gaza said Monday that there was a risk that Gaza experiences another hunger crisis if the Israelis continue to block the aid, warning that the situation was quickly deteriorating. Israelis cut aid flows of food, medicine, as well as fuel imports earlier this month, a move they argue was designed to pressure the Hamas resistance group in the ceasefire talks. On Sunday, they announced an electricity cut, which aid groups say would deprive Gazans of clean water. UNRWA Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini said more blockages, the more the impact will be on the population, and the more the risk to go back to the hunger experienced months ago will be. He said the Israelis are clearly weaponizing humanitarian aid into Gaza. He further described the agency's financial situation as critical and precarious. The Israeli occupation troops broke into the town of Kibbutz to the south of Jenin in the occupied West Bank. Occupation troops surrounded a house in the town, ordering the residents out of their home. Palestinian young man was also injured in Jenin by the occupation troops. 2 other Palestinian young men were injured by the troops launching a wide operation in the town. Occupation troops also detained scores of Palestinian young men and vandalized many homes in the town. Ukrainian and U.S. officials began their talks in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday to find a path towards ending the war with Russia, hours after Kiev's forces launched their largest drone attack on Moscow to date. President Volodymyr Zelensky hopes the talks in Jeddah will revive pragmatic U.S. ties after his disastrous meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump last month, and has suggested an initial truce with Russia in the air and at sea. The proposal is aimed at demonstrating he's working towards Trump's objective to end the war at lightning speed after the U.S. president accused the Ukrainian leader of not being ready for peace and pressed on with direct talks with Russia. The U.S., Kiev's main ally since the 2022 invasion, has upended its policy on the war and piled pressure on Ukraine, stopping military assistance and pausing intelligence sharing with Kiev. With that, we wrap up our English News Bulletin here on Channel 2. You're in the company of myself, Angie Meher. Thank you for watching.